Are you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 110, and we're just going to jump into the game with a little bit of a recap. So, previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party had found themselves in combat with a giant fairy dragon on top of a miniature castle above the land of the stone men. The dragon seemed a fearsome creature, and in truth its talons and fangs held real threat, especially for the less stout among the party. But overall, the beast was merely a product of its environment. While it was the largest, most threatening thing to rule the castle, due to its size being unaffected by the castle's miniaturization, it couldn't compare to the threats that the party had faced down in the past.
More wine.
Eventually, the party severely wounded the creature, and it attempted to flee. But rather than allow it to leave, Ashes, incensed and strangely emboldened, leapt from the roof of the castle after the creature, felling it before it could flee. There was some daring do afterwards as Ashes began to plummet, but a combination of Matashtai's rope of climbing, some muscle, and a timely, if entirely unexpected, thunderstep from Ezrah managed to return the Blood Hunter to safety. Though they had defeated the Fey Drake with aplomb, the party had exhausted themselves, at least to a point where they thought further adventures were unwise. So, with the use of Ezrah's dome, they rested upon the roof for the night. In the morning, they ventured down to the third floor of the castle, its halls filled with crushed, sparkling gemstones and stained glass. They quickly found a room in which it appeared that the fairy dragon had been nesting. And after some persistent investigation from Bones and some magical detection from Ezrah, they found a hidden chamber filled with various goods. However, the chamber seemed rigged with a odd trap. Most of its contents were suspended on 4 wobbling tables covered in porcelain and glass. The party was cautious about removing anything, and eventually came up with a method for stabilizing the entire room, which proved fortunate, as they eventually found a fiery potion atop the stack of items, one that they realized after Ezrah identified it could have set the entire room aflame. Their efforts now rewarded with money, gems, and magic, the party still has more castle to explore, and importantly, an unfound artifact to discover. And that is where we fade into the scene. So, let me guys move you. Let me move you guys on over to the map and get the proper music. Right? It didn't go.
You didn't go.
It's this one. There we go. Alright, cool. So,
Okay.
alright. We fade back into the scene. It's actually been a little bit of time here because of the hours that it took to investigate this room, find the secret chamber, stabilize everything in there, get things down, and then go through the process of identifying what was in there, storing things, sorting things, stack, etc., etc. So you guys have been here for a little bit. You've seen unseen servants come in and out of the room. Sometimes they just kind of like poke in, look around, and leave. Other times they come in and they take something, they remove something from the nest, right? And sometimes they brush it off, or sometimes they try to like piece some part back together, and oftentimes it doesn't work, and then they just leave either without the item or with the broken item. The castle, it's not necessarily an ecosystem, but the servants here seem to be running on some sort of command or goal or set of objectives or something, and your presence here does not seem to have disturbed them overly much. As you're sitting here going through this process, there are a number of times that you hear sweeping out in the halls, and then you hear kind of like a clanking, and then that kind of like slopping noise that you discovered when you first arrived on the 3rd floor. And there seems to be the cycle of sweeping and mopping and sweeping and mopping that's pretty consistent. But you are unaccosted, your presence undisturbed. What do you want to do?
After we
continue exploring
the rest, Ezra wants to just do a quick scour, remembering the explosions. Is there anything in this room that denotes something that could create that kind of a noise from 3 levels above, or 2 levels above?
Sure. You could go for either a perception or investigation check. Either one I think is appropriate here.
An easy choice for me, a 15.
Okay, 15. So, you kind of take a look around, inspect some of the items that are laying about, trying to keep an eye out for, signs of an explosion or signs of things that might cause, you just encountered this fiery potion, right? But there doesn't seem to be anything that sets off anything in your mind, right? There's a bunch of shattered like glass vials and some strange mechanisms that you're not sure what they are, kind of in the nest, the pile of stuff. But there's nothing that shows, oh, here's this large set of scorch marks, or here's these kind of like frayed and frazzled kind of like electrical wires or anything like that. It's just a lot of broken stuff.
Sounds good. That's just going to be in the back of my head as we...
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, I are you ready, Matt? Can we...
More exploring?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Much left for us to find in this castle?
Yes.
If Ezra would like to reiterate the actual purpose for being here.
So this is supposedly where the next piece of the Hasnarketa is supposed to be located.
All right, so we're good here. We're leaving. Let's go. All right.
Bye,
Back
everybody.
it
Back it up.
then,
I
or...
mean, you could just go up to the roof and jump off again. That's fine too.
Ooh.
Damn, you said kill yourself.
Shots fired. Okay. So it seems like the intent is to explore a little bit more. If you guys are okay with that, I'll just move you guys around as a block. Where do you want to go, though? Do you want to head out to the east or back where you came from to the west?
Lauren, back where we came, I think, right?
I agree.
Okay.
Back where we came.
To the
There's this room right here.
Yep.
Sure.
I don't like skipping that. Have 18 homunculus come out and attack us.
18 homunculus come out. So you head back into the hall, right? The hallway has been just very recently mopped. It's still kind of like drying. So it's a little slick underneath your feet on the kind of sheer surface of polished stone and gemstones and glass and things like that. But you come across to this door in the corner, and it's the one, if I remember correctly, it's the one that has the wolf head on it. It is... Yeah. So this door has a copper coin wedged into its frame, and it has a stained glass wolf head worked into the design of the door itself.
Ready.
Okay. It's weird. I try the. Is the door open? Is it locked?
Yeah, you just go forward and give it a little, and don't worry about if anything breaks out. I'll give you guys the opportunity to disperse in an area, that type of thing.
Okay.
We're just moving as a block for convenience. So you jimmy the door. It is unlocked. It opens, and within, pop you guys all in there, or to the point to where you can see. Right.
Cool.
The room itself is dusty, empty, dark, except for Matashtai's violet lantern light. And there are a few cobwebs in the corner, but it's otherwise barren. Ashes. Your medallion hum as you step into the room.
Shit.
I just start glancing around.
We can see invisibility. I don't understand.
Well, no, there's a corner. There's this one square right here.
Matt, move your ass
It's
in
not
farther.
covered. One cube.
I move in slightly.
Light fills the chamber from Matashtai's lantern, covering every corner of the room. There's nothing, no hidden creatures or objects or anything in here.
Tap, tap. Thing busted? What's going on?
Just humming consistently.
Am I
Um,
aware now? Is it me?
Is it you?
No,
Ashes.
Guess who?
You after about 20 seconds or so of this, the amulet goes into what you're probably used to as a kind of a standby mode, right?
Yeah.
The hum continues, but it reduces significantly down to a bare minimum. And you recognize this as this is what the enchantment is designed to do when you are around other wares, etc., right? Like when you're back at home in the order,
Yeah, turn that shit
everyone's medallions don't just go brrr the
Yeah.
entire time, right?
off.
But they do have that kind of like low pervasive hum just as kind of like this reminder. And that's happening right now.
All
As a reminder.
stupid, but I'm gonna walk up and poke my head out a window, look around. If there's like a werecrow or something flying around.
Werecrow.
You listen, you look, see nothing, hear nothing. Little whistle of wind breezing past the miniature castle far above the land of the stone men.
What if this is just like a wolf room? I mean, it's got the stained glass.
I mean, it's not a wolf. It's lycanthropy, like the
Yeah, but-
curse.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
he's-
like an alien.
Yeah, but he's like, a mad mage. Maybe
Wow.
he made the
Holding on to that one for a while, my friend.
Yeah, but he's a mad mage. Maybe he made the room a lycanthropy. I don't know.
uh,
The medallion continues to hum, Ashes.
I don't-
But as far
I don't
as
understand.
any
Ain't
of you
nothing
can
here.
see, there's nothing here. Just dust
I
and
understand.
cobwebs.
it's confusing. There's a lantern that should show invisible things. There should be a thing here.
Is there like a
very
secret
specific
door?
thing.
Like I checked this wall looks suspicious shit. Let's check this wall. All right, I'm in the wall. I mean, Jeremy, there's something secret here. I'm in the wall.
You're not. There's nothing secret there. That's just where they drew the boundaries.
Oh, that's odd. Okay, well, it's led me to believe them. Whatever, I still check for secret rooms. In case there's a little hidden where.
You
somewhere.
go around the chamber, curious, concerned, right? Like, assuming that Ashes is sharing this information, obviously, right?
Yeah, I'm open to
Assuming is, otherwise I'm not doing shit.
There's no, as far as you're aware, though, there's no secret compartments, no hidden chambers.
All right, well, I think the room is a lycanthropy, and I leave.
It's a were room.
Maybe
It's
the
called-
entire room is a mimic, and the mimic is cursed. with
It's called magic.
lycanthropy.
Look it up.
It's the only possible explanation.
You hear in your mind, if that's the case, you're standing on tongue right now.
Aren't you always standing on tongue or touching tongue if it's a mimic?
This room confuses me, and I don't like it. I'm out.
Okay. All right. So, unable to find anything or make sense of this room, you all exit and move on with your investigations? Yes?
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever, man.
So I can't
I'll
think of anything to
other
do.
possible solutions, but I'm kind of stumped.
All right.
It
I
was
just-
an entirely empty room, yes?
Ooh,
Dust and cobwebs.
I shut the door so the weird doesn't get out.
so never mind. Never mind.
You stay in there, where?
Okay. All right. Where
I'm
to
gonna
next?
step like a good 30 feet away.
As
Amulet.
soon as you exit the room, the humming goes. It's gone. It's you can even test it to the point to where as soon as you cross the threshold of the room, it's active. Your medallion is actively humming. You cross back and it's gone.
Actively humming.
Some tomfoolery going on, and I don't appreciate it.
Okay, well, just continue on exploring.
Okay. All right. Where to next on your exploration?
Just fail.
Work it
South.
around, counterclockwise.
Making
Okay.
our way down.
You begin to head south, and you find your way to the first kind of like crossroads. There's the hallway that leads eastward that you've kind of seen the other side of, from the doorway that Matashtai was guarding. You can see out the crystal bars into the courtyard below, and then there is a hall to the west that, after a very quick check, you see are the stairs leading down.
Oh, that's how we get back to the second floor.
So from
Oh,
here,
let's-
would you prefer to go down to the second floor, or would you want to go south or east?
Third floor south.
Dude, I think
Or
we keep,
south.
yeah, we're working around counterclockwise, brother.
I mean, we
You
can
come
kind of.
to this door. It has a silver piece, very old, almost kind of like patinaed silver piece wedged into the frame.
This is-
Mhm.
This is so strangely specific, Jeremy. I don't like it.
Okay, so it's like an old piece. It looks like. Does it look like it's been here a long time? Is it like all dusty?
No, it hasn't collected dust in its location.
You do
Um,
realize that there's invisible folk that are cleaning everything, right?
I realize that
How did
now.
how did this copper piece obtain patinaness?
Well, I mean, the dragon's not minting its own money, I assume. Just working with what it's got.
Right, invincible boy.
You think
Invincibly-
this is a dragon thing?
Whip it open.
Okay.
I mean, who else would do it? The homunculus is not doing it, right? He's just opening doors.
Pull the door open. And beyond, you find a large chamber.
I think it's the
And
dragon's doing.
Within,
What?
you see that tables stand haphazardly about the room, their surfaces cluttered with alchemical equipment, very readily identifiable alchemical equipment. There are a number of places within the chamber that are just empty. Around the outside of the chamber are a number of cabinets brimming with skulls and jars of powdered and liquid substances, leather-bound journals. The floor is strewn with bits of broken glass and scraps of parchment, sticky stains, and other refuse, as if something came in here and kind of like wrecked the place, but not super bad, not compared to like the nest area, right? Most of the alchemical equipment that's on the tables still seems to be intact and fine, but yeah.
Okay, it's chemical room.
Do
Wanna
the
check through any of this stuff to see if it's useful?
Let's say
yeah,
is
is there supplies here to make sets?
Roll me an investigation. Or an alchemy check. And that's for anyone who wants to be involved.
Do my
Hi.
glasses count?
I would say what exactly they give you on vision-based things?
I believe it's looking at things like what, 2 meters or 2 feet in front of you or some shit.
Go to a range of a foot.
Okay, so I would say in this particular instance, no, they're not going to help because it's not seeing things, it's knowing what things are and being able. So if you, like I said, if you want to use like alchemy instead, you can. All right.
Unless I can use charisma for alchemy, then no.
No? Okay, gotcha.
How do you roll alchemy?
What is your alchemy skill currently? Do you have it?
I've got a tool for it.
Okay, just
It's
click
not
that.
assigned to a stat, so it's
Well, his
mine's
is
tied to
assigned to a
intelligence.
stat. His is assigned to his intelligence. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just int plus proficiency.
So
this is
okay.
18.
A 10 and an 18. There's a lot of weird stuff in here. Ezrah specifically, you identify a couple things that are archaic components. Like really strange components that you've read of in books from like 1,000 years ago. You know, this is some kind of like old weird stuff.
This is OG alchemistry.
And a lot of it unfortunately is past its prime. It seems as if there's a lot of like the bottles or vials or containers or things like that have been opened, and whoever did it didn't do a good job of resealing them. So most of the goods here have perished. Ashes, though, you find as you both kind of combing over this whole scenario. Ashes finds a...
What do you find with your special eyes?
look with your special eye. My brand.
You pick
My
up
brand.
you pick up a potion, a bottle with a kind of like round bulbous bottom that has a little like lever, a stopper attached to it. It's kind of like one of those pull stoppers. So you have to kind of like pop the cork on it. And you're kind of like just picking it up to move it out of the way as you're looking at other stuff because it's empty, right?
Yep.
Except when you pick it up to move it out of the way, it's heavy. And you kind of like hold it in your hand, and yeah, you're kind of like, hold up. shake it a little bit, and when you do, it kind of sloshes a little in your hand.
Oh, wait. We got something here. I really, really look at it. Is it really like nothing in there?
There's nothing in there.
All right, I'll boom, get the cork off.
As soon
and-
as you pop the cork, it's just this like, this smell, and it's not unpleasant necessarily. It's not bad, but it's strong, right? It's not sulfur, but it does have like, it's a very almost kind of like vinegary smell, right?
It's like paint thinner. Bro, are you about to drink some paint thinner?
Might be.
Tide Pod challenge.
You dip your pinky in, and
Do
the
I
tip of your
immediately erupt in the flame?
the tip of your pinky disappears into some liquid that is inside of the
It's an invisibility
The bottle.
potion. Yeah, it's an invisibility potion that tastes like paint thinner because it strips away the side. Yeah,
Your
that's
vision.
fucked up.
All right. Well, having a good idea what this probably does, I'll go ahead and taste it and see if I can't discern exactly.
Yeah, so there's definitely it's
Like that
definitely
invisible man, but it's just your
definitely
esophagus.
invisibility magic, right? But there seems to be something a little more to it.
Ooh,
It's,
I like more, baby.
It seems to be a little stronger than your garden variety invisibility.
Damn, greater invisibility.
Okay. All right. Well, I will
Down
pocket that as a greater potion of greater invisibility ?
So, just to make sure, because the new staff lets me see things that go ethereal. Does he go into the ethereal realm with his finger?
His finger does not go into the ethereal realm.
Okay.
It's a good, it's a
But are
decent
you
question.
sure?
Decent question, but no, his finger does not shift planes before you.
Okay.
All right. Cool. What about just like supplies? Are there like some usable bottles and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, so roll me. Are you trying to acquire a certain number or anything like that?
Not really, but you know, just well, here's like when we're like out of
Roll me a
character, like-
d10.
Roll him a d10.
8.
Okay, you find just 8 good quality, unmarred, shattered, with corks, etc. potion bottles, or vials, right? Whatever your preference be. There's more that you could obtain, but you'd have to like clean out the stuff that's in them, basically, right? Which would be a bit more of a process than just grabbing some of the potion vials, basically.
Okay.
A lot of them, as you kind of go through this investigation process, you're kind of like walking on eggshells because there's just glass covering the floor here, except for in a couple of specific places, right? Those gaps that I talked about earlier where there's just kind of like nothing. But yeah, something smashed up a lot of the stuff that was in this place.
I'm sitting there walking. I'm like, shit! I just got these boots cleaned.
Sometimes it do be that way.
All right. Well, I guess I'm satisfied. Unless there's anything else.
This is not my kind of room, bro.
Yeah.
What if
I'll
the
do
lichen
these.
drank this potion in the other room, and it's so greater that it bypasses anything that would reveal it?
Bleach.
Ultra invisibility.
Ultra.
Plus ultra invisibility.
Lucy
Alright.
Ultura.
So,
Yeah, we leave.
it's been a little
We
bit
just
of time. It's been a little bit of time investigating the alchemy room, but
leave. Man.
after a little bit, decide to head back out into the hall and head further south once more.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the breach.
You find another little antechamber. The hall goes eastward, and then there is a door in the southwest. Which direction would you like?
Damn, I love southwest doors.
Southwest doors.
They are
Sounds
good
like a vote.
doors.
West doors.
All right, you head on over to this door, which it is completely there's no coin or anything in this frame.
That's suspect.
Weird.
Throw open the door, investigate.
Oh, there's no coin. Is it trapped? I checked to make sure the bitch isn't trapped.
Okay.
Coin means not trapped.
Beyond your passive perception, roll me a perception check.
20.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So what your passive perception was? You don't see anything trapped. There's no wires, no strange oddities about the door, nothing.
All right then. Well, I just open it, as I am effectively immortal.
Okay. Throw the door to the chamber open. And beyond, find within this chamber, the walls, floor, and ceiling are scorched black. Strewn about the room are blackened pieces of furniture, shards of smoky glass, and charred splinters of wood and bone. It's utter devastation, the likes of which you have rarely seen.
I think you found your exploding room.
Cool.
No, that happened on the second floor.
Recent.
There is the chamber is warm, and there are smoldering pieces of wood. And there is this smell of smoke and char from the room.
Does it give any hint of magic versus more of a chemical?
You see
Like,
no
exactly.
signs of mechanism or potion or anything that might indicate that the source of the explosion was other than magical. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been delivered via some means that just wasn't left behind.
And the explosion was the entirety of the room?
Every square inch.
Is the room roughly 20 inches in radius?
It's bigger
Does it
than
look
that.
like a fireball? Does it look like a fireball did this?
Fireballs are 20 feet radius.
Yep. So it'd be a 40-foot diameter.
Yeah, a fireball could contain this. Roll me an investigation check. While you're kind of like in the doorway, like looking around, trying to like analyze this shit.
Hey, you want the immortal helm to go inside?
Advantage or no?
An advantage with your eyes of minute seeing, I would say. Ah, you didn't even need it. 27. Okay, so you are cataloging just like visually every square inch of this chamber. And as you are doing it, right, you're trying to piece together what could this be. You realize that there are many impact points for whatever this was. This does not have the signature of a fireball. Something far larger happened here.
3 fireballs.
And this room, however it was possible to do it, contained that something.
So there was some source in here.
Fire elemental.
Very specifically, right? Like as you look around the room, and I think this is probably the most. This is what you get from the crit, right? This most telling piece of information is that there are several impact points about the chamber where it looks like something has hit the wall or the ceiling or the floor and kind of like splintered, like a spider web cracked, right? That location.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a dozen or more of these points that you see.
There's nothing nearby that would meet the scale of what could have caused that impact point.
Oh, bro, are there holes in the ceiling?
No, definitely
Like,
not.
is there rubble that shows that this
Absolutely
was like a
not.
quote unquote dirty bomb and there's the...
Nope.
I point that all out to the group and...
Yeah. Seems like
Bless
magic.
you, cucumber, squash, squirrel, watermelon.
Mexican. Sorry. Mexican Coke.
Coke.
I was gonna say something else, but like it's not appropriate, so I stopped myself and
I don't think that that's necessarily inappropriate.
recovered badly.
Odie boy. All right. So,
You're welcome, Jay.
Thank
camera.
The camera says no. I go out of
Camera.
focus.
Like, no, I want to focus on the cat.
Why you do this, camera? I'm gonna have to paint my walls.
Yeah, it's weird that they're the same color as your skin.
That
And your
close.
cat.
I mean, they're very close to the cat. I will admit that. All right. Anyways, what now?
I mean, I don't know. Ezra, you got anything else you want to do in here?
No, it looks like anything that's in here is
I leave.
no longer functional.
Love you. He says meow. He says meow. All right. You guys leave
And we make our way to the west.
to the west.
The West.
To the west.
Yeah, I shut that door just in case something else explodes again.
Okay.
Okay, keep it in there.
You head eastward. You can see the courtyard to the north of you.
Yep.
Find a door leading south, much like the door that you found the metal console in on the second floor.
Hey, Bones.
Hello, that is me.
From this angle, do you see anything different about the statue?
No, do I? Did Odie just fall? No, he jumped. I just saw him like, I don't know. It looked like he just kind of rolled off.
No, he just jumped off.
He also just fat rolls off too.
He's lazy, but he's never lazy enough to just fat roll off of the perch.
I did just have an idea. What if when we get back down to the first floor, we took off the fake helmet and put on the real one? Just to see.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Now that we've got this higher point of view, it might be worth it to see if there's anything that stands out.
What if then we make some ridiculous golem also immortal?
And I'm really glad we took a rest.
Well, I mean, we could just try to wrestle it off of his head.
Oh, bro, we could treat it like Spider-Man fighting Juggernaut! Whoa!
Charles, no, get out of my head, Charles!
Whoa, dude!
I feel like that was like 7 years in the making.
Shit, bro.
All right.
Wait,
Ezrah.
I have an
Ezra's
idea.
calls Bones' attention over to the window, looking down into the courtyard below. You
take
can
candy.
see some of the, actually, I say some of, most of, if not all of the damage caused by Ashes and Matashtai to the flower gardens seems to have been repaired. And the statue looks exactly as you left it.
No, it looks the same.
Southwest,
Come here.
or I think it was southwest.
Yeah, you fell like right below where we are, or you dug up where we were right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I was just hoping. I guess. Let's see what's in the next room.
In the next room. Yeah.
Right, you head to the next chamber. You find there is an electrum piece wedged into its doorway.
Okay. Electrum I don't like because it's complicated.
Okay. We'll assume that you pull it out, put it back, type scenario.
Yeah, whatever.
There's a joke there somewhere.
Go to open the door, and beyond,
I'm in it for the 10x, nothing else.
you find this. A tall throne made of
Is it alabaster?
made of iron and stained glass stands in the southern alcove facing the door. The throne's clawed armrests and feet give it a monstrous appearance. Laid before the throne is a circular rug that almost looks like an open mouth with a tongue lolling out.
Alright, well that's a mimic. No damn way that's not a mimic.
Maybe use your water skin.
we haven't done the water skin thing in a while.
Alright, I toss a water skin on it.
The
I hold
water-
it in my hands and I warm it up before I
Okay.
do it. Like it's a human.
Bones goes through a short warming ritual and then heaves the water skin into the room onto the lolling rug tongue. It begins to kind of like splash about as it's the liquid inside causes it to bounce and jostle. There is no reaction from the mimic.
Alright, well I gotta get my water skin.
There's reaction from the mimic.
I'm effectively immortal.
Step forward into the chamber.
Y'all make fun of the water skin thing, but that tactic has served me well.
I didn't make fun of it.
He
It was a perfect
suggested
thing
it.
to do
I didn't
right
say
there.
a single word about the water skin. Someone's
I'm the one that
defensive.
suggested it.
I love that tactic. I will continue to use it.
Good.
You walk into the chamber. Hesitantly step onto the rug. Nothing seems to happen. You move forward and pick up your water skin.
You know what? It's just a rug. It's weird.
Sorry, I was gone. How did we come to the conclusion that it was a mimic?
Because it looks like a goddamn mimic.
The chamber itself, to re-describe it to you, there's a iron throne, an iron and stained glass throne, but it's got monstrous like armrest or clawed armrests and clawed feet, and then there's this rug in front of it that's kind of like this open mouth that it has a lolling tongue.
I mean, you can't get hurt. Why don't you go?
He's on it. He's
Yeah,
he's
we don't-
on the rug at this
I-
point.
I'm-
He's
I'm
picked
rugged
up
up,
his
bro.
yeah.
No, I'm in.
Oh, you want me to go sit on the throne?
Yeah.
Ezra, you sure you don't want the helmet to go sit on the this feels like an Ezra thing.
Give me the helmet.
Well, I mean, I'll do it. This is like, this feels like magical. You're not talking.
I'm muted, I know. Jay sent me a video I had to watch. You are more for power. You try it.
Yes, you are correct. I sit on the throne.
It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a
seat.
weird. Who the fuck makes a throne out of stained glass? Like, honestly,
It's not a pleasant seating experience. It's cold, even in the relatively warm environs of the castle. It's not as smooth as it appears to be. It's not like sharp or anything like that, but there are little like scuff marks or kind of like abrasive portions of it. The armrests really suck, right? Because they're all kind of like veined and almost bony, right? There's these protrusions, there's this texture all across them, and then they end in these kind of like upraised claws, right? So there's no real good place to put your hands without like putting them on sharpened points, so it's kind of uncomfortable. It also doesn't seem to do anything.
All right, I think it's just a chair.
So there's just the rug and the chair?
That's the only thing in this chamber. Relatively large chamber for what is here. It's almost, I mean, the throne is very clearly a throne, high backed, right? Like in design, it looks like a throne. It's just somewhat monstrous. The way that the room is laid out, it looks almost like a throne room, an audience chamber. Like this alcove seats a ruler, and the area in front of him is where his petitioners should come and grovel.
Anything of note on the back of the throne?
Take a look back there, and there's no symbology or anything like that, but there's texture, almost scaled in nature, like as if this was like some protective hide of a beast on the back of this monstrous throne. You poke it, it's metal, it's the iron throne itself. It's just worked in such a way as to give the representation. And then there's these odd pieces of stained glass scales slotted in amidst the metal itself.
Ezra takes a little bit of time inspecting the chair, seeing if there's maybe a nook or maybe a secret chamber.
This is like the fourth room we've run across and they ain't found shit.
So roll an investigation check if you're looking in such a manner.
I mean, not every room, has to do something.
Uh,
Not every room in my house
23.
is exciting. There's
Every room has to be entirely devoid of anything of interest as well.
I mean, I got rooms that just have chairs.
So,
Shit happens.
Ezra, with your 23, you do find a secret compartment. In the wrist of the left arm of the chair.
Okay.
There's nothing in it though.
Okay.
Ooh, fancy.
But you do find like this little slight depression that you press a button and it kind of like pops open this little chamber for like hiding coinage or maybe like a small dagger or something like that, right? It's just empty.
The armrests you said came up into what looked like claws?
Yeah.
The size of the claws.
Large. I mean, so the throne itself isn't overly large. It bones sitting in it, right? It takes up the majority of the space. A large person or a girthy person could not sit in this throne at all, right? But it's definitely designed with a specific build in mind. but because of that, there's not a lot of space to just kind of like recline or anything like that. So it's almost as if designed, the individual would have to sit almost rigid, right, with their arms on the armrests, making fists, so that the taloned hands kind of just go up around the fists. And they're about that size, kind of like what I'm showing right here. That's about how big they are, maybe a little bit larger.
Yo, what if you hold them? Like, interlock the fingers.
And the Halaster is much bigger than that depression, or those depressions.
The hands, it's probably roughly the same size. It's an orb in fashion. Pondering your orb way before pondering your orb became cool.
I disagree. On the left hand, I will pull out the Halaster and try placing it in the depression.
It fits, if barely, but it doesn't fit necessarily, right?
Are you sure you don't want the hat? Are you sure? Like, you don't need the hat? If it's like the ruler's hat, and this is the ruler's chair, you're trying to do something with your little box in the chair.
It's an orb.
Okay, whatever. I don't know why I thought it was a box.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally thought it was like a cube.
I thought it
as
was like a
well.
little puzzle box. I don't.
Yeah.
Is it a
that's me
cube,
too.
Ezra? I don't remember.
I always pictured it like a dodecahedron, like round but with some facets.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's not a smooth orb. How about that? Like, to clarify for everyone, it's not like a crystal ball. It is a circular. It's a spherical shape, but there's a bunch of like texture and movable parts and pieces and things like that. So I think maybe that's where the disconnect is. Jake is aware of the name of the thing, right?
The name of the thing.
Of the Halaster.
Is this something we talked about previously that I'm just drawing a blank on?
I mean, it's been a very, very long time. Very long time. It's been like 2 years since we've had stuff about this come up. So, there's that name means something, but I don't remember if Ezra knows that, or if Jake knows that, or I thought he did. I thought you both did.
Trying to find there's so many notes here, Jeremy. This game has been going on.
You
far
take
too
a lot
long.
of notes. Yeah, that's fair. I think this is something, even if you didn't, if this wasn't a note, I don't think this is like a crazy thing. I'm very positive that that you are aware of this. It just hasn't come up in a long time. And I think if I never told you, then I think Ezra probably would have discovered this on his own, researching things by this point. But the Halaster it's an ancient tongue. It's kind of a strange mix of Netherese and Elven, right? But it means the Orb of Storms.
I think we did talk about that.
Yeah, so I was pretty positive that we did, but the whole reason I bring it up is to reinforce the fact that it is an orb. So, anyways, back to what we were doing. Get distracted. Went on a tangent. Apologies.
So it doesn't seem to lock into a place.
No,
like,
yeah, it doesn't. There's not this sudden like click or snap or it just fits perfectly or anything like that. The space is big enough to contain the orb, and because of the nature of the design, it holds the orb without the orb going anywhere. But it doesn't seem to fill or fit or cause anything.
Because I'm OCD, I do put it in the other hand just to make sure.
Same scenario.
Just in case.
That could that could have been the whole shtick. Wrong hand, my boy. Wrong hand.
I put it away and say, "Oh, I think we keep going."
Okay.
All right. On we go.
All right. You exit the throne room. Put the electrum piece back. Close the door. And head eastward.
Make my way.
Yeah. Eastward.
Another familiar-looking antechamber. Another room towards the southeast. Interestingly enough, to your north, no door on this section of wall like there is on the opposite side.
No door on what's like this?
Yep.
I see. Okay.
So, where to now?
That one.
Gonna check the southeastern corner, okay?
Why? No. Hold on. Hold on. This is floor 3 of the castle. And we're to believe that this giant, what would be room is just a solid block of stone.
Can we work? We work.
I
out
mean, yeah.
logically.
I think
Sorry, I just-
Zach agrees with you, right? He just wants to do this room first.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just pondering.
Pondering that room. Okay. Anyways, onwards to this room. Come up to the door, and within its frame is nothing. And there are. Actually, that's a lie. I apologize. This is one of the doors that has little stained glass slots built into the door. A couple of them are missing. There's no shattered glass around the base of the door or anything. They're just missing entirely. Excepting one particular piece that is gone from the door is wedged into the frame itself.
Dragging around out of money.
And you can see through some of the openings in the door frame of the missing stained glass. You can see that there is a dusty room on the other side, a darkened, dusty room with cobwebs. Kind of full of cobwebs, actually.
Oh, whatever. Open that bitch up.
Okay. You throw open the door, and there is this... I'm not gonna do it, because Discord's just gonna fucking mute my ass. But there is this shrieking howl.
Thank you, Discord.
Shut
Thank you.
That just like just roars out at you like a banshee's wail. Actually, remembering the time when you guys were at the Coven's abode and you had gone back into their treasure chamber area, right? And you'd found that that's the figurehead, right, of the boat that unleashed a shriek at you. It sounds basically like that as you open the store.
Oh, cool.
Like, does it keep doing it, or
No,
is
it
like
howls for about 10 seconds or so and then is gone. And
Okay,
beyond is just this dusty, cobweb-filled room.
I don't remember what that one did, so I mean, all right, whatever. I'll just go and look around and hope I don't die instantly.
Step into the chamber.
How could you?
I mean, just because I don't know. I don't remember what that little Halley thing did.
It had a chance to insta-gib.
Well, there you go.
If I'm remembering correctly. You step into the chamber and it's thick with cobwebs. It's choked with cobwebs. So you kind of have to push them out of the way. They're just hanging from the ceiling and the walls and everything to the point to where it's clear that, over time, the cobwebs that built up on the ceilings and the walls had cobwebs built up on them, and so they just kind of eventually started to fill the entire space. It's old, musty, dusty in here. for whatever reason, the unseen servants are not cleaning this chamber. You don't find anything else inside, though.
Weird.
Boy, it's tough to hire good help. They missed a spot.
They're afraid of the screaming.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so nothing weird going on here. Nothing.
Nothing
All
that
right,
you
cool,
see
I leave.
as you kind of like explore the room. You kind of have to push your way through the spider webs, and they come down around you. And they're not like covering you or attacking you or anything like that. It's an easy enough process to just kind of like push them down and out of the way. You disturb a few small spiders as you do this, but it's a handful, right? It's not the hundreds or thousands that would be required to create this mass.
All right, then.
And
I'll
they
leave.
just scurry away from you.
So there's no banshee in here.
I guess not.
All right.
So, like, you said there's a ton of cobwebs, and Bones looked around. Are the cobwebs obscuring the view of anything?
No, not particularly. I mean, it's choked with cobwebs, but he moves about the room and kind of like pushes those patches away, and he can see about the entire chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good if you guys are good.
Sure.
All right, we leave.
All right, you leave. Close
I shut that
the
door too.
door behind
Hey,
you.
Bones, you should try opening it again.
No, I'm good. You open it though.
I summon my mage hand and open the door.
There is a long howl that releases from the door, like the howl of a banshee, for about 10 seconds before it dwindles off.
Close the door.
Okay.
And then I open it again.
Howls again. There is
close the
an
door.
unseen servant standing in the corner, right? Each time, and you can see the outline of these conjurations because of Matashtai's lantern. But each time you open the door and the howl happens, the whole thing kind of like it doesn't like flinch, right? But you actually watch its outline reduce, like it shrinks by about like 10% or so. And then when you close the door, it kind of like balloons back out. And then you open the door and it kind of and it does this each time.
Does it only shrink while the scream is happening, and after the 10 seconds, if the door remains open, it rights itself, or is while the door is closed, they are diminished?
As you come up with a hypothesis and you test it, and
What?
after the howling stops, it stays diminished for a little bit, right, for another like 5 or 10 seconds, and then it returns to its original state, whether the door is closed or not.
I leave the door open and continue on.
Okay. You guys begin to move northward, I'm assuming now?
Starting to pat, like, we're passing along. I'm gonna start patting it for like
Okay.
panels or something, because there's
Gotcha.
no way.
As you begin to move northward, Ashes is wholly focused on finding a secret entryway into this wall, right? As you're walking down the hallway, just as Matashtai's lantern light falls away from the door to the southeast, you see the unseen servant move towards the door, and the door is closed.
I see so there's a door.
No,
No,
to the
this
one you
door.
guys left.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Ezra said he left it open, like he was trying to test
so,
something.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
That checks off that box. Okay.
Okay.
But you move forward checking the eastern wall, roll me an investigation or perception check.
Let's perceive. 11.
Okay.
I found it.
You begin to move up the hallway, slowly investigating, and you find very quickly that this wall is indeed a hollow. There's a room on the other side of this wall. Keep moving northward. Investigating, checking, investigating,
Make sure
checking.
There's not a door like
Investigating,
on the other
checking. You round the corner and there's a door on the north side.
Side. Ashes, I found the door. It's right there.
Ashes, there's a door right there.
Ashes, you are correct. This wall is not solid. There's a door.
Hey, Zalara, have you ever killed an alien or a catman before?
No, but it would be a nice new experience.
Join. Roll initiative.
I think I can take you.
I know
would
the
die
both
so
of you could
fast.
take him.
I have a silver dagger.
I mean,
Yasha!
you got a magic dagger.
Yeah, didn't silver do like
everything
18
doesn't
times,
care about
18 hits or
your-
some shit?
Yeah,
Oh.
too.
Oh, it just bypasses his resistance?
Yeah.
Oh.
I really
nice.
think it's. I think they
I
the
thought it
fifth
did 2x
edition-
or some shit.
5th edition rules. I feel are very tame when it comes to that type of stuff.
What does
I wish there was
vulnerability
more.
do?
Huh?
I thought vulnerability was 2x. Is that not right?
It is, but they're not vulnerable to it.
Oh, that's
It just
fucking weird.
bypasses their
Resistant to
immunity.
non-silvered.
Yeah.
Non-magical.
oh well. All right then.
Yeah.
I go over to this door and I open the bitch.
Okay, so you head over to that door, and
Unless
as
it's like really sus.
as
It's really
you
sus,
do,
then I don't.
right, you guys can quickly see that the little alcove to the north is another set of stairs leading down to the second floor.
Okay.
But this door is different. This door is unique compared to the entire rest of the castle as far as you've seen. There are stained glass portions of this door, a kind of like central stained glass frame. And in that central stained glass section, right, is a large fist-sized broken shape. As if someone punched in to that portion of the stained glass.
Okay.
But there is actually a plaque next to this door, labeling the door, and you have not found that on anything else in the castle. The label is in common, and it says
Not draconic.
Armory.
Wizard weapons. You can get a wand cannon.
It shoots wands.
Oh yeah.
Shrapnel. Give you a sliver.
What the fuck? Okay.
You shoot us a wand, and when the wand impacts and sticks into somebody, it then casts its spell into their body.
Fireball directly into their sternum, like in their rib cage.
I mean, it could be even less
acid
than
arrow
that. Right?
inside of them.
Exactly. Magic missile inside. Gust of wind inside.
Ooh,
God.
nice.
Press the
Mage
digit
hand inside.
Exactly. Dude, you got a mage hand jiggling around organs?
Dimension door inside.
All right, all right, all right.
I'm telling you, if I was a wizard inventor, wand cannon.
I like it.
You would be the bad guy.
Probably.
It's like freaking who would like Megamind or whoever it is with his freeze ray or whatever, or is that Gru? That's Gru with his freeze ray.
Yeah.
Or actually, I don't
We
think Gru had the
destroy
freeze ray. I think
water.
the other guy had the freeze ray.
It's
But
the other
yeah,
guy.
anyways.
Gru had a freeze ray.
Or was it Gru? No. Anyways. All right, so you're standing in front of the door to an armory? Question mark. There's a hole punched into the stained glass.
I mean, can we see in there? What's in there?
Can't see inside. You poke your head down, right? Bones level. It's about this big, and you kind of like looking around inside. It's dark. There is almost nothing in this very large room,
Dude, what a joke. Of course wizards don't have weapons.
excepting that you can see off to the left, right? There is a glass case of some sort mounted to the wall, on the wall that you're facing currently, right? And it's
Okay.
just out of your field of vision to be able to see what is in there. But you also hear something from inside the chamber.
What I hear?
And then after hearing it, you're able to kind of like see, thanks to one, your dark vision, but also two, Matashtai's lantern. You hear this kind of like rustling, and then this little kind of like chittering
Like an
noise and a
Like
squeak.
armadillos?
And you can see there are two bats just nesting, hanging upside down towards the back of the chamber.
Wonder how those things eat.
That's a good question.
I mean, they don't look like there's anything in there. You guys want to bother or what?
Well, if there's a case, there could be something in it.
Is the door open? I try and go in.
The door is locked.
The door is locked.
If only there was a way to access the lock from.
Man, we don't
the
have a
outside.
lock-picking rogue in our group.
If only we did. I'll walk away.
What are you gonna do?
Ezra puts his hand through the hole in the glass and tries to unlock the door from the inside.
You reach down, and it's just out of your reach. You can see there's kind of like maybe like a little latch or something like that.
I summon my mage hand and look.
And as you're kind of like fiddling around, right, you got to be careful not to like cut your arm on the
dumbass.
stained glass. But then you're like, wait, why am I doing this? And then you just stick your hand in and you waggle your fingers, and your mage hand appears, and you're like, yeah, right. And there's this little grinding and a clack, and then the door handle jiggles open.
Wow, Ezra, regular B&E expert.
Yeah.
And there was no
Who
B.
who needs a rogue?
It was just E.
All right. So Ezra is opening the door.
Look around.
Open the doorway.
It's Bones' fault for being a snarky little bitch.
It really does not
Uh,
affect me that you open the door without
And
me.
Ezra steps
My pride
inside.
is intact.
And as Ezra steps inside, there is a flash of green energy that comes from the two bats in the corner, in the back end of the room. And you
Green?
watch as both of those bats suddenly
17 drows pile out of each one.
transform into large, demonic looking creatures, winged creatures with massive axes, and they immediately look at each other and grunt and grin. And I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative. All of the people who are outside of the room, who are not Ezra, can arrange themselves. Oop, I'm on the wrong thing. Can arrange themselves within this box, however you would like to be.
I'm good where I'm at.
Possibly is a god.
Dude, I never would have thought those bats were fucking demons. What the fuck?
And I think actually this is a good place for us to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, wizard armory demons, Ezra done fucked up. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that makes more sense that the demons were weapons. Yeah.
So we'll see you all in just a few. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.